introduction into anime as a whole. Like, that's like my childhood. Yeah, I did. I was very upset as a kid when I realized we weren't going to get the last season. I was so upset that my mom had a foreign exchange student stay with us from Japan. And my mom had told her in a letter saying, like, my daughter is so upset that they're not going to have the final season. And she sent me a VHS of a few of the episodes. I cried. I actually cried. I've always gotten excited over booking roles before, but I've never actually cried over a role before, except this one, because it was such a huge impact on my childhood, and I thought I didn't get it, and it was months before they finally emailed me and said, "Hey, you're in this." She says something, but she definitely always means another. She's always very sarcastic in the way that she talks. I mean, like a cat, it's that I'm only going to want you when I need you. I actually didn't get the audition sides for her. I got the audition sides for the Sailor Stars, and they booked me based off of those auditions. So that's why I thought I didn't book it, because it was so long before I was told. And then when they told me who I was like, yes, I don't know what she does, but I'm down. Let's do this. Having no really set thing in my head saying, oh, this is how it should sound, actually does help me, because I get set in a certain way to a point where, like, it almost like, oh no, this is how I want her to sound. Versus when you're in an acting situation, it's not necessarily just what you want, how you want them to sound, it's also how the director and how the producers want her to sound as well. So if you get too set in your ways, that can kind of cause a problem. So I like to actually just know the important stuff. That's all I need to know, and then I can go. So I think my initial like reaction to her was pretty spot on, just because luckily with the animation in Sailor Moon, what they look like is pretty much their character, and she was exactly what she looks like. That drive of like I'm going to do this. This is my goal. I'm going to get there. I do relate to that in a way. I never saw the full season like as a whole, but the Sailor Starlight, at least for me, because I was looking for it, and also I asked my Japanese friends about it. Like they were able to show me things and send me the manga and read about it that way at least. So I did know about them. So when you get to play as a villain, you kind of get to go into that place where, at least for me, that place where I was as a kid when I was a brat and wanted what I wanted, and remember what that was feeling like when you just did not care and only cared about yourself just for a little bit in fantasy. It was just mean. She's conniving. She is manipulative, and I was on board for all of that. Well, I mean, as I said, there is always a part, and I've learned this from acting coaches, that there's always a part of you that's like a character. Jeez, give up and hand over your star seed. So then you kind of explore those feelings more and say, okay, what would make me actually do those things? The great part about dubbing anime is that you get to listen to the Japanese first. So even if you're not, even if you don't have like a full rundown of the character, the Japanese actors are so good that even with one line, you can kind of be like, oh, I know where this person is. I know exactly what's going on just from hearing that first and then doing your take. I mean, like, within the first few lines, again, the Japanese actors are so good that, like, within the first few lines, you pretty much get everything that you need to know just by hearing it. Oh, there are parts where she's talking, with the other bad guy in the scene, and she is just hounding her because Sailor Tin Nyanko is why her friend died.
Bye-bye.
Serves her right. That loser wasn't suited for this job anyway. And so Sailor Tin Nyanko, like, does not care and even digs the knife in more to this a poor person who's grieving over her friend just dying. My character's just like, ha, she was dumb anyway. When I went in for, I think it was my first session, about halfway through, they go, oh yeah, towards the end we see kind of this good side to her because I mentioned how mean she was. And I was like, she's just really bad. But you know, it's kind of this whole thing of like, whoa, it's a complete change for her, for sure. No villain thinks that they're the villain, so you have to kind of find the good in them and be like, oh, that's why they're doing it. I mean, that just makes her more fun. Like, again, in the moment, it's really brutal. But as an actor, you can't judge them in that moment. You have to be like, okay, well, they're getting in her way. You have to justify it for the time that you're playing that character so that you don't end up judging them yourself. Yeah, I think it was really fun to have almost that tug of war with her fighting with her good side. That's right. Please don't let Galaxia take control of you. No. Now hand your starseed over to me or else. Please, you must be careful. If she takes your starseed, then it's... Why is she acting so strangely?
It's that bracelet. Galaxia uses it to corrupt other Sailor Guardians.
She's been brainwashed?
Yes, but now that one of the bracelets has been removed, it seems she's reverting back to her good self as a Sailor Guardian.
Because, again, people don't mean to be mean, or they have something where they think they're justified. And there are moments where when people start to realize that their actions are bad, they have a tug of war with it inside themselves. So I think that Sailor Tin Nyanko really, like, highlights that part of the process of redemption. Yes, I think anybody, when they finally realize that their actions were wrong, they kind of do go through this, it's a freeing moment. It's kind of like a weight gets off of you. And so I think she is happy that that happened in the end. I was too busy copying everything that Sailor Venus did. She was my favorite Sailor Guardian. I said everything that she said. She wanted to be an actress just like me, and my nickname when I was a kid was Minako, because that was her name. It's just as amazing as it was when I was a kid, and being a part, I'm so privileged to be a part of it now. And I'm very lucky in the fact that I got to even be here. Thank you guys so much for watching Sailor Moon, Sailor Stars, and seeing my performance as Sailor Tin Nyanko. This is a dream come true for me, and I hope you enjoy every moment of it as much as I did. Bye, guys!